Hey everybody, it's Katie. It's been a long time since I did an update, and I've been kind of thinking about some stuff, so I thought I'll put it on video. Um, so I don't really know how to get into this. For a long time, I haven't been very successful at relationships, and by a long time, I mean like 40 some years. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I really wasn't happy with who I was, and I wasn't really available then for other people, right? This is back in my old life. And after my relationship with Lucas's mom failed, I just kind of said, forget about it. And I really needed to because I was ready to transition and I needed this space. I needed to be alone in this room for really months at a time until I could decide who I was and who I wanted to be. And I guess everybody probably knows I'm a little more than a year into transition now. This is me completely without makeup. And I mean, okay, that's not like a Barbie doll face or anything, but oh my God, what an improvement. Can you imagine? Uh, okay, I'm making great progress. Not where I want to be, but great progress. So anyway, got into transition, got really, really pleased with myself and really happy with who I am, and got a job as a female, which, you know, is like the coolest job I've ever had in my entire life. And just everything is running full speed forward. My little publishing company is doing very well. And this room that was a safe place for me for so long started getting really lonely in the evenings. It's very quiet here, and there's not really anyone bringing me flowers or asking me how my day was, and that started to bother me. And truth to be told, I'm actually working a kind of a crush. I met somebody a couple of months ago that I think anybody on earth would be a fool not to just immediately be like, oh my God, that person is a really amazing human being, and I definitely want to be involved in that life. Um, and I even told that person that I had special feelings, and they didn't really reciprocate, but they didn't push me away either. We've sort of gotten into this good buds, confidants kind of thing, and my urge to reproduce is completely gone, and my satisfaction with who I am is very high, and I seem to be just sort of smoothing over into this besties kind of a relationship really, really easily that I've never really had. It's very different than anything that I've really had. So, in spite of the fact that I continue to get butterflies every time I talk to them, um, you know, it's just okay. It's not really what I think of when I think of romance, right? It's a romance, maybe. I don't know. Sorry, that's funny. Okay, anyway, so I've got this kind of thing that it's not getting me bought flowers and it's not getting me somebody at home in the evenings. And uh, in spite of the fact that I continue to mostly be attracted to women, men are a lot more interesting than they used to be, at least the way they look and smell, not necessarily what they want to talk about. And so I got it into my head that I would try, you know, some dating sites and some online and, you know, just see what's out there for a middle-aged girl with kind of a strange history. Um, and I found some really bizarre things. I found that most dating sites haven't caught up yet to trans or well, a lot of them have picked up gay, but most of them haven't picked up trans. There are quite a few sites out there that are sort of like fetish sites or kink sites, and they're very receptive to a trans person. It doesn't surprise them or worry them at all, but they're also pretty hardcore dedicated to just getting people orgasms, and not really my thing. I'm not very good at that. And so I was kind of striking out, and I started kind of hanging out on some of the transgender romance sites, thinking, you know, I'll find other people who are like me. And oh my God, you guys, I found this enormous pool of trolls. Just, you know, I posted one time that I was lonely and looking to chat, and I got invites from like 20 different people tried to friend me in the next 30 minutes, most of them with a line about, hey, sexy, or you're so hot, or whatever. And even the one of them that seemed pretty sensible is a kind of a nice guy who lives here in town and wanted to start a conversation with me. But he is really, really dead set that he's going to come over and we're going to have this romance and it's going to be the biggest thing in the whole world. Except if you say to him, I'm thinking about what movie to watch. He says, if we were snuggled on the sofa, I'd tell you what I'd watch. And I'm like, okay, could you just tell me what movie you want to watch? I don't know you. What, you can't leap to snuggle me until you I don't know, buy me coffee first or something. Oh my God. And he tried several times to spark up conversations, but he just couldn't talk about anything else other than the sort of sexy things that we were going to do once we were together. So whatever the topic was, it could be movies or it could be dinner or whatever. But the point is that I'm very sexy and he wants to help me out with that, which is okay, I guess. I'm not really trying to be sexy, but last night I just got this point blank troll. I've yet to be sent a dick pic, but this I feel certain I could have gotten one out of this guy because it was all he was about. And I got pretty mad, and I fired a couple of my friends on Facebook, or unfriended them, I guess, and wrote some sort of scathing commentary about, excuse me, about what I think about these guys. And then last night and this morning both, I felt really quiet and introspective about this whole question of what do you mean when you say you want a partner? What do you mean when you say, I want romance? And I can tell you a whole bunch of things about walking in the rain and listening to music and buying each other flowers and things like that. But I think that I feel like I've decided that we're going about it backwards. It seems like that what we're all trying to do is get laid and then hope that we're lucky enough that we did it with somebody that we might like to hang out with later. I don't think I'm very satisfied with that. I don't think I'm very interested in that. I don't think, I can remember back when I had a lot of testosterone in my system and I just couldn't hardly think about anything else. I didn't really care for it at the time, and now I'm pretty free of it. And it's not that I'm never open to the idea again or not interested again, but I kept thinking back to the person that I've, befriended and that I'm having this like non-romance with, and that's a really rewarding relationship. I'm having a really great time knowing that person. And I wouldn't want to get that tangled up in the nonsense that I've seen over the last couple of weeks with this whole dating and romance thing. And I think that I've decided that for me, romance is friends that you want to go out with after dinner or after work, and buddies that you go to the park with and take your baby, and people that you go to a movie with or go to a Royals game with, and that somewhere in there, maybe sooner or later, you and one of those people really can't function without each other. But the way that I want to give little gifts to people I like and, be nice to them and go for walks with them and have them want to do the same to me doesn't have the destructive fire that I keep sensing out of people when they try to romance me. And I understand that there's a fetish out there that isn't really gay, but does like chicks who are different, if I can speak delicately, or underclothes fit differently. And I don't blame people for having that, but that's not me. So if you would like to romance me, um, invite me to go somewhere with your friends. and asked me if I would like to take my son to the park with you, or um, I don't know, uh, sit around and make jokes with me all afternoon about something. But I made this kind of unsatisfying attempt for about the last month now to be romantic, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to go back to hanging out with my friend, whether they ever really figure out how intensely I feel about them or not. And I'm going to try to build a whole lot of other friendships like that. And I'm going to be really happy with that. And maybe one of these days, one of those people will feel very special about me. And that would be cool. But if it doesn't happen, that's pretty cool too. I'm going to be a really great friend to the whole world that I can. I'm kind of a bitch, so I'm not a great friend to everybody, but everybody that I'm interested in will find out, because I'll be somebody they'd really like to know and a good friend. And that's good enough for me. That's who I am. All right, well, I don't know why I felt the need to get that off my chest, but I've done it. Okay. Romance adventures as a trans woman officially over, entirely abortively. Back to people that I actually care about and being nice to them. I think that'll work out for me better. All right. I suppose I should give an update on life and everything. My daughter, who I don't see or haven't seen in several years, is turning 18 next month. And although I say I'm remaining very quiet about it, sooner or later that will create an opening for she and I to meet again and get to know each other again. And I would really, 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 really like that, because I miss her so much and she's my girl. So I'm really excited that her 18th birthday is coming, because she'll be, you know, start on that path to being herself and being who she wants to be rather than who her parents want her to be and the other people who influence her. So uh, hopeful, hopeful that it's not another 10 years before that conversation gets started again. My 2-year-old is remarkably 2-year-old, just very bright and into everything, and getting very stubborn. He would not let me take the chicken back today. I just had to carry him out of the car with the chicken because it was his chicken and he wasn't giving it up. And that's very cute and energetic until he breaks my lamp, which he regularly breaks that lamp right there because he thinks it's a bell and he tries to ring it. Work is going swimmingly. I'm in this great environment that is very supportive. And this is a general comment for trans people. That moment of shock and weirdness where everybody stares at you when you walk by, if you're not someone who can pass, lasts about 2 weeks maybe. And then sort of occasionally, I work in one area of the building and nobody in those areas even notices when I walk by anymore. And every once in a while, when I go, somewhere else in the building, somebody will go, "Oh, there's that trans person that works downstairs." Yeah, whatever. On the other hand, meeting hundreds and hundreds of human beings who are interested in the work you can do and not the clothes you wear is just spectacular. It is just a fabulous experience. And I suppose it's okay for me to say I work for a company called SE2. They design software products for insurance agencies, and they just welcomed me with open arms, and nobody said boo. Well, several people said boo, but mostly just because they weren't familiar. But now that people see my work and see what I can do, I'm not getting any grief that I can tell because I'm transgender. There are some people who kind of took offense to me in the bathroom very early on, but that seems to be over. I don't think they're going to the bathroom that I go to anymore. I think they just decided on a different bathroom, which I think is an excellent solution. I don't need to use them all, just one. And Dryden House, which is my publishing company, is having this very sort of mixed experience. We're getting a lot more response and a lot more sales than we're used to, but we're having a very hard time developing any products right now because I'm working 45-hour weeks on average, and Tracy has been in the hospital for a very long time. I'm sorry, Tracy. We think that she's finally mostly better, but it's been a real rough go. Gavin is still with us and still doing fabulous work. Hi, Gavin. If you see this, we just left Gavin, but he has a nil partner too, so it's been just really hard to get traction. So I don't know what else to say about my life. I live in women's clothes, and this is the voice that I use in public, and everybody calls me ma'am, except for one guy in the cafe who called me sir and then felt so guilty about it. He came and looked me up like 30 minutes later to tell me he was sorry, and I was like, it's okay. The face still looks pretty male, and I get sirred sometimes, and that's okay. I'll get there. So um, in the last 14 months now since I started transition, I've had more happiness than I had in the first 45 years of my life. I tell people I'm one, and I mean it. My birthday is June 3rd, 2014. Or I'm sorry, 2015. I'm not two, I'm one. So that's me, that's my life. Headed off to be really great friends and someone of worth to everybody that I can. Sorry, all you guys with your penises and all the problems that causes you. Not your girl. All right. Bye bye. Love to all.